Welcome to POV Media. I'm Nana, and this is my point of view. Today, we're going to discuss Shannon Sharpe. Yep, Shannon Sharpe. Y'all know who I'm talking about. If you don't know who I'm talking about, I'm going to break it down for you guys. Shannon Sharpe is an ex-NFL football player for the Denver Broncos, also a Hall of Fame tight end for the Denver Broncos. Was one of the best players of his time, and later on in life was inducted in the Hall of Fame. So you know that boy was like that. He was serious. After he got inducted in the Hall of Fame, he got involved in the sports media, and in my opinion, is the best sports media person out there. But let's just for sake of argument, he's one of the best, one of the most known, one of the most entertaining. Got some of the highest views on YouTube. Recently, he was just accused of grape. Is a civil lawsuit, a grape of $50 million. And when you hear something like, oh, whoa, that's kind of crazy. Like, what's going on? Always take those things seriously. You always want to make sure that everyone's grievances is heard. So as I listening to it, as I'm hearing this out and details are coming out, you know, I'm hearing that he's getting sued by a 19-year-old OnlyFans girl. And I'm like, whoa, 19, bro, 19-year-old OnlyFans girl, you 60, like you 60, Shannon. So you lived half your life. So at 30 years old, she wasn't even born yet. Yo, Shannon, like, I mean, I understand that's whatever you do is your personal business. When you get to a certain level of tax bracket, people like to do what they want to do. That's fine. But I would assume that as someone at some point would put themselves at least at less risk with the people he spends time with. And a 19-year-old OnlyFans person just seems kind of risky to me. That's my opinion. I'm not on that stage. I'm not on that level, so I can't talk about that. But it just seems to me that is, pretty risky. But that's not even the half of the story. So he ended up having to pay $23 million to this young lady for to settle a lawsuit. But it doesn't end there. Is that before it happened, he was in talks with ESPN to have his own show worth $100 million. So let's do the math here, y'all. I am not a mathematician, but 100 million plus 23 million is $120 million. You telling me because you decided to mess with a 19-year-old OnlyFans, you gave up $123 million? Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this is the biggest bag fumble in history. In fact, I'm going to go farther. This is the biggest bag fumble in Black history. Yes, it is. We need to create a chapter in Black history for this. In February come around, we're gonna talk about the slaves. We're gonna talk about Harriet Tubman. Come on, how to get you free. Come on. We're gonna talk about Rosa Parks sitting on that bus. I'm not getting up off that bus. We're gonna talk about Martin Luther King. You know what I mean? One day, I want Black men and I want white women to get together and only way possible and have all the opportunity, like even all that. We go past all that. We can pass Barack Obama. We can pass all that. We're gonna have a chapter for Shannon Sharpe for the biggest bag fumble in Black history. $123 million to get your rocks off with OnlyFans girl. Bro, I mean, that's not a good look. I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't get it. 123 million? Like, how do you recover from that? Like, how do you recoup that money? Where do you go from here? And at the end of the day, Shannon Sharpe is a very talented person. He's a very, charismatic person. He is a very engaging person. But $123 million is $123 million. And this is just a quick little, service announcement to my brothers out here who make it in life. When you make it in life, it doesn't give you a license to be more risky. When you make it in life, you want to do what most rich people do, de-risk themselves. And that's what 19-year-old OnlyFans just puts you in a situation of high risk, folks. Now, that is my point of view on Shannon Sharpe. Please like, comment, subscribe. What do y'all think? Y'all think Shannon was out here doing crazy? Or you think because, he make a little money, he can do what he want? Y'all let me know, guys. Until next time, hey, y'all be safe out there.